Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be focusing on this super warm and bold look. It's going to make my hair pop even more. If you want to see how I got this look, just stay tuned. So I'm going to start by applying a 24-hour eye base all over my eyelid up until the brow bone. This will give me a good color payoff with my eyeshadow, and it'll help it to keep from creasing all day. Now I'm going to go into my Nubian palette that I got from Juvia's place, and I'm going to use this brown shade. I'm going to use this all over my crease. You can do this with a MAC 224 brush or any blending brush. Now I'm going to use this like light brown shade. I use this in addition with that other brown shade because I just like the way it transitions. I use that right under the brow bone and all into the crease. So now I'm using this pigment that I found at MAC. It's like a high pigment. It's really orange. I'm using this all on the inner corners of my crease. This will give it a really warm, vibrant orange shade. You want to be careful with this pigment because it's like super powdery. So you want to blend that really well just so it doesn't leave a chalky finish. So now I'm going to use a pigment, and I'm going to spray it first with a facial spray that I got from Ulta. I believe it's by Badescu. The reason I spray the pigment is because it'll give it a high shine and make it look super foiled, and it'll stand out. You want to do this in a patting motion. Swiping will make the color fly away, and we don't want to do that. So now I'm using a Morphe pointed brush. I'll leave the brush number in the description box below. I'm using this in the inner corners of my crease and the deeper hollow part of my crease, and I'm just using that warm brown shade from the Nubian palette just to add some depth and dimension. And I'm going to blend this into the orange pigment to get a nice transition. So now I'm taking that same eye primer, the 24-hour eye base, and I'm going to apply this all over my bottom lash line. Now I'm using the shade How Royal from MAC. It's a light blue, super vibrant shade. And then I'm going to go in with a darker blue to get an ombre effect. Originally I was going to do this with a blue eyeliner, but I figured that this might be a little bit better because the pigment is like super great. I'm blending a darker blue in the shadow shade into the How Royal shade to get that ombre effect. So now I'm just going to apply some mascara to build my lashes before I apply any other lashes. So now I'm going to spray my face with the same facial spray by Badescu to get a nice hydrated skin. So I'm going to take my YSL Beauty Sleep serum, and I'm going to apply this all over the face. I like that it makes my skin feel super smooth, and it makes me look a little more vibrant. Going in with one of my favorite primers, my Becca Cosmetics primer. I'm just going to use this as a spot treatment for all of my oily areas. I like to warm the product between my fingertips because it's extremely matte, and once it dries it doesn't move, and it can leave a texture where it'll show beneath your makeup. So I'm using my Studio Sculpt foundation by MAC in the shade NW43. I absolutely love this foundation. It gives like a great medium to full coverage, and it's a gel based formula, so it's really different. I like the texture, I like the way it looks. It makes your skin look really young, and it just looks great. I like to apply this formula with a sponge to get the best placement. I've done it with my hands before. It's still pretty good, but the sponge is a bit better because this product moves around a lot and it'll take a second to dry. I'm gonna apply this all to the center of my face. So now I'm gonna use a darker foundation. I'm using the Chanel Perfection Lumière foundation. I actually ran out during recording on this video, but it's the shade Amber 114. They actually discontinued this particular product, so I don't think you'll be able to find it. I'm applying the Chanel foundation on all of the outer edges of my face and kind of blending it into the Studio Sculpt that I've already applied, just to get a natural transition, natural contour. Using my favorite concealer, the LA Pro Girl Concealer in the shade Fawn, I'm going to apply this all under my eye and in the center of my face. I'm going to use my MAC 224 brush to blend the concealer into my foundation. I like to use this brush because it's really thick and dense and it leaves a natural finish. And it's like big enough but small enough to like get the job done quickly but still precise. So I'm just gonna rehydrate my face because I don't want the concealer to dry. Once it dries, it's hard to move it around, so I just want to keep my skin moist. Using another LA Girl Pro Concealer, I'm using the shade Cool Tan. I'm gonna only use this just in the inner corners of my eye. I feel that it brightens my eye underneath really well. It gives that extra oomph. Makes me feel more alive. So I'm just taking this same sponge and just kind of blending what's left of the foundation into my concealer, just to get a natural transition between my highlight and my contour. Everything's just gonna look nice and smooth. Going in with my translucent powder by Mercier. So now I'm gonna take my Mercier translucent powder with that same sponge on another end, and I'm just gonna pat that beneath the eye. I like to focus more on the center part of my highlight just to get the extra pop. I'm just applying my translucent powder also just beneath my contour. This is gonna make the contour pop naturally. So using my Morphe M81 brush, I absolutely love this brush because it's just so fluffy and big. I'm gonna dust away all of the translucent powder and kind of blend it with a mineral skin finish. I use the shade Dark, and I'm gonna apply this all over my face. Using my favorite blush in Blunt, I use this blush actually to contour. I mean, it's like the best contour. It's super warm and natural. If you don't like a heavy contour, this is like great for every day. I'm gonna shade just beneath my cheekbones and I'm gonna kind of blend it into the center of my face. This will give me a natural highlight and contour, kind of make it look more like skin, like a natural part of skin. So going back into my Nubian palette, I'm going into with those two brown shades, the darker one and the lighter one, and I'm going to start at the inner corner of my crease and blend down the bridge of my nose. Next, I'm going to use this warm Extreme Dimension blush by MAC in the shade Cheeky Bits. Absolutely love this because it's super pigmented and super velvety and soft. I like to give a nice warm blush tone. I've fallen in love with this shade. I'm probably going to use it all summer. So now I'm going to go in with my Riviera highlighter by Anastasia, and I'm going to mix this with my bronzer that I got from the Balm. I love to mix my highlights just to look like I came from the moon and whatnot and shine all over the world. This has to be my favorite part of my makeup application. Highlighting, shining for the gods. There can never be enough highlight. So now I'm gonna touch up my eyes, and I'm going back with that orange pigment, and I'm gonna deepen the creases and warm them up. Using that same Morphe brush, going back into the crease, the outer crease of my eye, and just deepening that crease. This will make the eyeshadow pop a lot more once I apply my lashes. And now I'm blending everything out with those two brown shades that I got from the Nubian palette that I told you guys about. Now that we got the perfect transition, I'm just gonna deepen that contour on that nose. So I'm applying my favorite lashes to this look. I get these lashes from Electric Lash. You can check her out on Instagram at Electric Lash. The lashes that I'm using today are called Flash. I love them because they're super spiky and edgy, and they're just my vibe. I'm gonna get as close as I can to my lash line. That way it'll be easier to pinch the lashes to my actual lashes and make them blend better. Looks like I made a boo-boo and got some glue on my cheek, but it kind of looks like a beauty mark, so I think I'm just gonna emphasize that instead of starting over, because that's not gonna happen. Going back into that Nubian palette, I'm just gonna use this super shiny shade. I'm not sure the name of it, but I like the light pink silver tone that it gives. This is like great for inner crease highlight. And just to make that inner corner pop a little bit more, I'm using that same highlighter by Anastasia, the one in Riviera. So now I'm gonna apply my liquid liner. I'll leave the name of it in the description box. I got this from one of my Ipsy subscriptions. I no longer do those subscriptions, but when I did, they were great, so you should check it out. Liquid liner is one of the hardest things to do. Even if you do it every day, it's still kind of difficult. I find that if you do it in stamping motions until you get to your ends, until you make the ends meet, you'll get the wing that you're looking for. It takes a little time and patience. So I'm using that same liquid eyeliner, and I'm just gonna make a nice fine dot over that glue. And now I have a beauty mark. I'm gonna set my face with my all-nighter Urban Decay setting spray, and now I'm gonna take the same brush that I used to highlight, and I'm just gonna pat everything in. I find that this gives a nice smooth highlight. It makes everything look nice and transitioned and super on fleek. With the cork pencil that I got from MAC, I'm gonna do this all on the outer edges of my lips, following my natural lip line and kind of shading into my lip to give a nice ombre transition when I apply my lip gloss. So I'm using my favorite NYX lip gloss in the shade Peanut Brittle. It's super popular. Everybody knows about it. You can find this at Ulta. And looks like that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow. And stay tuned for the next video.